Jim, a 1-1 draw with Kidderminster Harriers today. Just give me your thoughts after that game.
Overall, it's a good point away from home in what was a difficult day. Hot, so hot, which was a massive factor in the game. It slowed the game down a lot. The ball was out of play a lot, and it was really hard today to keep the game actually going. I think that's something the opponent does well. Actually, I identified it pre-game that when the ball is out of play, they take their time, they set things up, and at times I think the officials have to play their part, being mindful of that, and just at the very least try to adhere to the rules, try to keep the ball in play, because we're the team that want the ball in play as much as possible. I think if you count the actual phases back or the attacks back compared to a normal game, it would have been so much lower, and I was mindful of that before the game, which leads me into the important point, is that going 1-0 down in games is increasingly difficult. We've gone 1-0 down in a few too many games now, I think, which just makes things harder for us. Team sits in, when the ball's out of play, they try and keep it out of play for a long time, and people are playing the clock, and if it's not going to be officiated well, then it's something they can do. We don't want to play the clock, we want to play football as much as possible, get the ball in play, and with all those difficult circumstances, I think it was good, the character that we've shown, to stay in the game, be patient, wait, try and push, try and build, try and keep the ball in play, try and do all the things that the opposition didn't want us to do. And at the end, I was really delighted with our captain going and getting that goal for the team, because he deserved it, and he kept his clarity, and his leadership skills were there throughout the game in what I thought was a day that Kiddy made tough for us.
A lot of big challenges, and obviously the goal itself, Ethan, you said how pleasing it is for him to actually score, but from a set piece as well, just talk to me a little bit about the sort of goal itself. It was not long after the restart that you touched on as well.
It's always good to add goals from set pieces. It's a massive part of the game, especially at this level. So any goals you can add from set pieces, he's been important for us in that area, as have some other players. Even when we don't score directly from it, I remember Ebanks himself winning a penalty for us at York. It's all from set piece routines. They're huge. We work on them constantly, trying to prevent them, trying to defend them, trying to score from them. We'll take our lessons from this game. It's important that we do, because it's difficult going 1-0 down against teams. The way we're playing and the way teams are defending against us, it's difficult going 1-0 down. We have to try and manage the moments that the opposition have as much as possible. And we said to each other what we thought was important to say to each other at half time. And I thought the team reacted really well second half, showed character, showed bravery, showed belief. And I'm glad that we can go away from this game with a point on what was a tough day. And we can take a look over how the game was off the back of an away point, which is good.
And you touched on before on previous games when we've had such a busy schedule, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, Monday, we've had to, you've spoken about changes potentially needed. There were a few changes today. Just talk to me about the three lads who have come in this afternoon.
The schedule's it's tough, and the squad is only small, so it's a grind for the players to go game after game after game in an unforgiving schedule, and you try and bring that freshness, in each performance. George done great. Max Conway came in, of course. What was that third one? Remind me, Ash? Quakes, yeah, of course, come back in. He was only recently in, so it's slight rotation. It's game by. Every game's different. Every game's so different. Every opponent, they might all defend in a 5-3-2 or a 5-4-1, which we faced a lot of this season, but this team's 5 and the other team's 5, they can look completely different. One team can have a standout winger, one team can have a marquee centre forward, and we try and do everything we can to get any small advantage we can, and changing the lineup with all my players that I really believe in. I really believe in my players. I love them. They need to hear my voice in different ways, sometimes with different moods on days like today, certainly at half time when I don't feel like we've arrived, and we can't do that. But it's important that all of them know, I think they're very, very good players. I love having them all here, and me changing them, it's always for the best thing for Rochdale, in my opinion.
And another player that we've seen return from injury today, come off the bench, Jez, had a really good chance, tested the keeper as well. Just your thoughts on having him back now in the squad?
I'm delighted. We've had Jez, we were just talking about before the game now, for 4 training sessions, that's all he had. Jez doesn't really know how we play yet. Jez at the moment is just out there being a good footballer in the few moments that he's been out there, and it's been a shame that, you know, the second Jez came in he got a serious hamstring injury which cost him a month. Himself, Dev, you know, anyone else we could add, the massive additions, they help the squad, they help our team. They also have an effect on the opposition when they see them coming on or they see them starting a game. And you know, Jez without doubt was a positive today. You can see what he can do when he's on the pitch, and all of a sudden it gives us that balance that we've got 2 wingers that can beat players, not just one. The other team can really double up on and leave the other side. If we have 2, you can see how helpful it is straight away.
And a full week's training now that you'll get with Jez and the rest of your squad ahead of Barnet, what will the week look like for you guys now?
It'll be a learning week again. It'll be a learning week. Every day is. We'll dress down a performance. We'll see what we can do better on this thing, of course. And then back after the week, we'll plan for Barnet, who, you know, I've seen them a couple of times. They look a very good outfit at the level. Powerful side, can score goals. I've seen a couple of their performances so far. They're moving along nicely. I think they won 3-0 today. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, it's a key game. We'll have to do our homework on, select a lineup that we think is the best thing for the team. And as I say, every lineup, every selection, every game plan, it's always what I believe is the best possible thing for Rochdale Football Club.